Good morning. Yesterday we talked about the halachot of hechsherim on Pesach, what foods do need a hechsher and what foods do not need a hechsher. Let's now move on to discuss medications and tablets. People who have conditions and need to take these medications. Are they permissible on Pesach if they have chametz in it? So the Rambam writes very clearly that substances, medical substances, in which chametz is mixed in, are permissible to be ingested on Pesach if they are bitter or tasteless. They have no taste because there is no satisfaction, there's no benefit for the palate. And therefore, even if there is no life-threatening condition, one may take these substances on Pesach. Now, we know that on Pesach, any food which, when Pesach began, was not fitting for the consumption of a dog is not considered chametz, and one's allowed to keep such food in one's property over Pesach. However, there is an idea which the Rosh says, and that's as follows. Even if a food is objectively it's not edible for the consumption of a dog, nonetheless, if a person himself ingests it, then he has made it important, achshavei, which means he has given it importance, and therefore subjectively, this is considered for him at least a food which is forbidden to be consumed on Pesach. Some therefore say that with medications, despite it being non-edible for the consumption of a dog, but if you take it, you have now shown it has importance, and therefore it would be forbidden to ingest it if it has chametz in it. However, the vast majority of the poskim, Chacham Ovadia Yosef, Moshe Feinstein, and others explain that we do not have this principle of making the food important when it's a medication. When you're ingesting something for an illness or for any condition, then that food isn't considered that you are being machshiv, that you are giving that importance, and therefore as long as it's bitter or even tasteless, that food does not have importance and may be ingested for any illness or any condition. Chacham Ovadia is slightly stricter here, and he is of the opinion that this is only the case if there's any illness. There has to be an illness in order to take these medications when they have chametz in them. And the reason being is if a person just has a slight headache and he's not in bed ill, then we're concerned that may be considered that he has given this food importance and therefore it becomes prohibited on Pesach despite the fact that it's tasteless. Moshe Feinstein and others were of the opinion that all foods ingested for medication, you cannot say on such a food that you're giving it importance. You're not giving the chametz importance. You don't care about it. All you care is about the medication. And the chametz within it is tasteless. And therefore, for any condition, even if one isn't ill, one may take such medications on Pesach, even if they do have chametz in it. And so, if one knows that within the medication one is taking there is chametz, if one is ill doesn't mean that it's life-threatening, just means that a person is in bed, flu, etc., something like that. Such medications may be taken on Pesach, according to all opinions. If a person just has a headache or a slight, something very small, then if the ingredients have chametz in them, then according to Chacham Ovadia, they shouldn't be taken. According to Moshe Feinstein, they may be taken. However, Chacham Ovadia himself writes that the vast majority of medications today do not have chametz in them. They have substitutes which are not chametz based. And therefore, unless one knows that there's chametz in it, one can assume there isn't and would be allowed to be taken on Pesach even for a slight condition, even if one isn't ill in bed. It's important to understand this is only for medication and tablets which have no taste or are bitter taste. If something like a syrup, for example, where there is a taste and there is benefit and satisfaction for the palate, then those certainly would need to be checked that the ingredients have no chametz in them, otherwise they would not be allowed to be taken on Pesach. So in conclusion, with regards to medications on Pesach, even if one knows for sure that they have chametz in them, if they are tasteless tablets or medications, then those may be taken on Pesach if a person is ill. Ill means he's bedridden. If a person just has a slight headache, then according to Chacham Ovadia, one should not take such medications unless one knows there isn't chametz in them. If, however, there's a taste to the medication, then one may not take those medications unless one has verified that there is no chametz in them. Have a wonderful day.